Minecraft has a lot of stuff in it. Every update adds tons of new features, but nestled in all those good and great additions, we sometimes get a few stinkers that sort of just exist pointlessly and never really end up feeling like they have much purpose in the game. Over the years, a lot of these useless features have built up, so I thought it'd be fun if we went over a few of them and tried to brew up some ideas on how they could be made a little more useful. So subscribe if you like what we see. I will be your host, Simply Suck, and let's try and make a few useless Minecraft features less useless. We may never truly know why the poisonous potato was added to Minecraft, but for years it has been a bane to our potato sorting systems. We'd like to ask it to leave, but we're just not sure how without hurting its feelings. That really is the question though, what do you do with a potato? Fortunately, I have an idea. One of the most useful items in Minecraft is bone meal. It speeds up all sorts of plant growth and is just all around a great item to have. That got me thinking, what if we had some kind of anti-bone meal, a direct counterpart that essentially does the exact opposite, kills plants? Currently, there is no good way to clear grass blocks. You've either got to till the ground and stomp on it, or manually kill the grass by putting a block on top. It is so tedious. When you're trying to clear an area of grass or mycelium blocks, it's kind of weird there's not already some solution to this issue. The poisonous potato is quite uncommon, so I think it'd need to be reworked a little so it would be a bit easier to get a hold of. Maybe you could actually plant them like regular potatoes. It could work not just on grass blocks, but also leaves, so when you're clearing jungles or whatever, it doesn't take an absolute eternity. We're next going to talk about the llama. Is it fair to call llamas useless? Maybe not entirely. They definitely have a few cool features like caravanning and being able to ward off wolves, but to me, they've always felt a little bit like watered down donkeys. The problem with llamas is they don't have that killer feature that really cements their purpose in the game, like, oh yeah, this is why we need these guys. Everything they do is fine, but I've always thought they just need that one extra little thing. I think there's quite a simple answer here. Llamas should fill the role of land boats. None of us are a stranger to how frustrating it is to relocate villagers or any mob that can't be leashed. Boats are okay for short distances, but if it's any medium to long journey, they don't work well at all out of water. Essentially, any mob could ride llamas as if they were a vehicle like a minecart or boat. Imagine if you combined this with that caravanning feature, you could relocate an entire village completely hassle-free. It would be wonderful. In the redstone world, if there was a poster boy for useless features, that title, without a doubt, has got to go to the weighted pressure plates. The funny thing is, conceptually, these items aren't useless at all. Being able to count entities is pretty neat. The only reason they go largely unused is because they had the unfortunate timing of being added in the exact same update as hoppers. Most counting involves items, and hoppers are just a more elegant solution. To solve this, I think weighted pressure plates should focus more on what can be done in the physical world rather than in the container world. So what could they do? Well, maybe a weighted pressure plate could do exactly what it implies, weigh stuff. Instead of just weighing the number of entities, it could weigh the literal entity. So an item might weigh 1 signal strength, a wolf 4 signal strength, and something really heavy like an iron golem could be 14. Perhaps it could also weigh shulker boxes and bundles. An empty one weighs 1, but the more full it is, the stronger the signal. This is not something hoppers currently are very good at doing. Obviously, the current functionality is useful in some scenarios, so the light pressure plate could just stay the same, whereas the idea I described could replace the heavy pressure plate. For me, 1.10, the I can't even remember what it was called update, was one of the lamest patches in recent memory. The only thing I can remember being added was polar bears, and I'm going to be honest, polar bears were pretty much the inspiration for this video. What do they actually do? They're just these big, textureless blobs that stand there judging you. If it was up to me, I'd say it'd be cool if you could maybe make like a bearskin rug or something, but let's not pretend that's going to happen because they're endangered and, you know, Minecraft's got to be educational. So instead, I reckon it'd be neat if polar bears had a unique interaction with animals and livestock. Unlike most animals in the game, polar bears are carnivores. There's not actually a way to reproduce them right now, so let's stress that. Instead of feeding them meat to breed, it'd be cool if they actually had to devour a live animal to become willing, or maybe even the player. And for something different, maybe instead of animals trying to flee polar bears, they could just become paralyzed with fear. This way, if you've got a polar bear in the area, your animals will stop running around and trying to escape their pens at any given chance, which could be great for mellowing out your farms. Alright, so this one is my favourite idea. As a player, I am a complete sore loser. When I die and permanently lose all my stuff, I don't just accept it, I delete the world and vow to never play again. Losing your stuff isn't fun, especially when you've literally lost everything to your name. Minecraft should have a feature that offers you a little bit of respite, some silver lining to give you a reason to keep playing. There should be a way for you to get a few of your items back. Now, I have two ways you could do this, and I like them both equally, so I'll just explain both and you can decide which sounds better. The first is the Wandering Trader. People wanted a Wandering Trader to be added to Minecraft for years, but no one really likes him because the way he was added is pretty boring and his trades are, for the most part, a waste of time. The way this could work is when you die and lose your items, if those items then go on to be deleted either through lava, void or despawning, the game could generate a list of what those items were. The list could only hold a small handful of your most recently deleted items, and the items are randomly selected, but maybe items on your hotbar or of a higher rarity have a slightly better chance of showing up. These items would then show up in the Wandering Trader's stock, and you could buy them back. If you're lucky, he'll have recovered something you really wish you hadn't lost. The other idea is very similar, but instead of using the trader, you could use cats. Cats have a small feature where they'll bring you gifts when they sleep on your bed, but the gifts are kinda underwhelming. So while you sleep, your cat could head into the cat dimension where normal laws of physics don't apply and find something you lost. Because if you have a cat in real life, they always seem to find things you're never quite sure how they got a hold of. We can't make this video and not talk about bats. Does every single feature need to have use? No, not really. Some things can just be for the aesthetic. And when you think about bats in real life, they pretty much are just part of the scenery. We don't interact with them, they're just the occasional thing that you see flying around at dusk. Even still, I have a decent idea on how to make them a little more useful in Minecraft. I think bats could fill a similar role for caves as dolphins do for oceans. Not necessarily a mob that can be tamed or anything, just a helpful creature you bump into from time to time that can give you a hand. So how could bats help you? Well, it's always a bit annoying when you've gone spelunking for a few hours and have become spectacularly lost. You have no idea where you came from, you're running low on supplies, and you really just need to get out of there ASAP. Here's where the bat comes in. If you happen to find a bat and feed them a spider eye because it's something you'll easily be able to find underground, he can help you escape. There are two ways you could approach this. The bat could just directly teleport you to the surface. This would be quite straightforward, but might be a little weird in how the bat is able to do this. Maybe he has some, like, magic vampire powers or something. Alternatively, the bat could use his echolocation and highlight all torches in a certain radius, like how bells highlight raid mobs. This way you could see the trail of torches you left behind when descending and can retrace your steps back to the surface. It's not quite as powerful as teleporting, but would still come in pretty handy. Gilded Blackstone can be found in the depths of the bastions. It's a pretty block, but it also has the most nonsensical mechanic to it that just makes me scratch my head. If you mine this block with a regular pick, 90% of the time it'll drop itself, 10% it'll drop 2 to 5 nuggets. It's essentially the same mechanic as gravel. The thing that makes no sense though, none at all, is when you use fortune on this, it doesn't do what you might think it does. It doesn't increase the nugget drops, it increases the likelihood of getting the nugget drop. Fortune 3 will guarantee 2 to 5 nuggets. This is a weird case of an enchantment sabotaging you instead of helping you. I mentioned this on Twitter a while ago, and King Bidox, who I believe worked on Bastions, says this is because it's more of like a lore feature than a feature. Even if that is the case, it still makes you wonder why the nugget drop is even in there at all. It's a dud prize. Silk Touch isn't really even that necessary because 90% of the time you're just going to get the block anyway, and Fortune just makes your odds even worse. It may as well just be a block. Gilded Blackstone is pretty rare, whereas regular nether gold is literally everywhere, yet can drop a maximum of 24 nuggets. And if you mine this stuff, a literal bastion's worth of piglins might come after you, so why does it work like this? Maybe instead this block could have a 1% chance of dropping an entire gold block's worth of nuggets. This way the block becomes almost like a slot machine. Most of the time it's not worth it, but if you're lucky, you might have a shot at winning big. It also makes sense lore-wise. If the piglins crudely threw these blocks together, the gold to blackstone ratio probably would vary wildly from block to block. Anyway, these were just a few ideas that sprung to mind, but trust me, this list was way longer, but I had to trim it down for time's sake. Let me know what you think about these ideas, and what other pointless stuff do you think needs improving in Minecraft? Either way, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. I have been your host, I'm Simply Sark, and I will catch you in the next one.